Welcome to Sum It Up on this July 20th, 2022, as we continue in the sermon series, Growing in Christ. More than just a beginning. As we continue looking at 2 Peter, the first chapter, verses 3 through 15, or you can go back to verse 1 through 15. This sermon series is focusing upon growing in Christ and helping us all understand that our growth is something that happens certainly because of our faith, but it doesn't end with our faith. Pop theology today basically says that if you've ever at any point believed the story that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, you are somehow, you got it made, spiritually speaking. You've got your ticket to heaven, and that's all there is to it. Biblically speaking, Christianity is far more than just an initial belief that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God. Very important. Like my illustration this past week, the conception of a child is the beginning, but it's just that. It's just the beginning. It's not the ending. It's just the beginning. And with our faith, it is just the beginning of our walk with Christ, our life in God. And there is growth that not only can happen, but should happen. 2 Peter 1 tells us that God has given us everything we need for a godly life. It's my assertion in this series that God was being honest, and he was telling us that we have everything we need for a godly life. Now the question is, how do we grow into that godly life? We talked about faith this past week, trusting God. And trust, as the scriptures say, it's impossible to please God without faith. Without faith, you cannot please God. And that's absolutely makes sense. If you don't trust him, how in the world do you anticipate that all of his blessings are going to come your way if you don't, even at the outset, trust him? That's it. You've got to trust. And trust is an active trust. It's sort of ridiculous to talk about a trust in which there isn't corresponding action. I mean, if I say I trust somebody, that means if a situation arises where I need to exercise that trust and demonstrate that trust, that I do. If I don't, guess what? I don't trust. It's not that complicated. You either trust or you don't. It's borne out and is shown by what you do. James 2 talks about faith in deeds and faith in works. I think one of the things we need to understand is that works, salvation, is talking about doing it aside and apart from faith. Deeds done through faith are a totally different story. Some theologians would like us to throw them both out, but we can't, because our faith calls us to action. Over the next few weeks, we're going to talk about what that means and how we add to our faith goodness. That'll be the message for this next Sunday. So this Sum It Up was about Sunday, July 17th's message, and then we'll be looking ahead to July 24th. Have a wonderful week. God bless.